With the stock market going up and down a lot lately, my portfolio has changed quite a bit. I sold one of my biggest positions and I opened a new one. But next to that, some of my positions saw a bigger increase while others saw a big decrease. In general, my REITs have done very well recently, while my bigger positions like Microsoft and TROW has suffered a bit. And with all these bigger movements in the market, of course there are many interesting stocks to buy. But first, let me show you the stock that I sold. United Healthcare, ticker symbol UNH. I did bought some UNH shares not too long ago. And the main reason was that the ticker price went down a lot. The company looked undervalued to me and my decision was made. I bought more shares of UNH. And quickly after that, the ticker price took off. After an increase of about 35%, it felt like the stock has gone up too much in only a few months. And for me, the current valuation was a bit off. So I decided to lock in my profits and sell the stock. With the money made there, I bought again 15 shares of Fiji, which was one of the smaller positions earlier this year. And I have been able to really expand my position here. And the main reason for that is of course the juicy dividend of 5.3%, but also the future outlook for this company. Next to that, I opened a position in Nvidia for the first time. This particular stock came down about 22%, and for me it felt like the right time to buy this stock. By the end of the month, they will announce their quarterly earnings, and we saw some other semis presenting their earnings, and things look pretty good over there. I was also able to pick up a few cheap shares of Starbucks along the road, making it my biggest position in my portfolio. And last but not least, I finally managed to buy a decent amount of the S&P 500 shares at a pretty heavy discount, looking at the recent bull run. My upcoming buys aren't decided yet. I'm thinking of ARCC, who went down about 5% of the recent high. On top of that, they pay a juicy 9.4% dividend yield, and I want to diversify a bit more in my high-yielding stocks. I'm also thinking of expanding my position in Nvidia, but also that depends on what's going to happen in the coming weeks and also around the whole earnings situation. Last but not least, I'm also keeping my eye on Microsoft, Visa, and of course Starbucks. All of these three stocks have come down a decent amount recently, and in this video I talk more in depth about these stocks. Make sure to watch this video as well if you're interested in these stocks. Looking at my sector breakdown, we see that the S&P 500 is the biggest at 25%. My goal here is to push this position to 30%, so we're almost there. My REITs and service sector are both pretty close with 25 and 24% share respectively. And with my latest addition of Nvidia, the tech sector finally expands here a little bit. My single biggest position after the S&P 500 is Starbucks, with a shy 10%. I'm trying to keep my single position under 10% of the total portfolio to minimize risks here. Visa, T Rowe and TXRH make also up for a decent amount of my portfolio. And all of these stocks together pay me $811 per year in dividends, which comes down to $68 on a monthly base. My portfolio is currently yielding at 3.25%, which I'm pretty happy with. And after selling UNH, which was one of my biggest positions, the average yield went up big time. Since UNH is yielding at 1.5%, while the stocks that I bought in return are yielding at 3 to 6%. So as of right now, I'm pretty satisfied with the way this looks. Another cool thing about the current state of my portfolio is that finally my monthly dividend is starting to make a punch. And don't get me wrong, we all have to start somewhere. And getting your first dividend is something big and the start of something even bigger. But I think everyone that is in the what I call the second stage of dividend investing knows that getting more than $50 a month in dividends is finally going to help you to buy even more shares and get that snowball rolling. The third stage for me will be getting over $100 of dividends a month. And I think that could be easily possible to achieve early 2025. Looking at the individual stocks and how much they pay me in dividends, we see that ABR is by far the biggest dividend payer. While this stock is only 5% of my portfolio, it brings in 20% of the dividends. Realty Income, Starbucks, and TROW are a little under $100 and bringing a big amount of dividends as well. From there, it slowly starts to decrease with companies like Visa, Microsoft, and Nvidia being the lowest dividend contributors. Which is fine, of course, since these are completely different businesses. Microsoft is the company that has been carrying my portfolio since day one when it comes to total return, with almost 60%, of which most is thanks to the increase in ticker price over the years. TXRH is also doing great at more than 50% return, and most stocks are in a range of around 10 to 15%. But of course, with everything that is happening in the market right now, we also have stocks that are going down, such as ABR, Nvidia, Starbucks, T-Rowe, and even ARCC. And to be honest, I don't mind that much. All these companies are still doing pretty good and give me opportunity to buy more shares at lower prices and DCA my way through it. It's the same with the S&P 500, who has seen a decent decrease recently. And to be honest, I love those red days. It is giving me the opportunity to pick up some cheap shares, which I always love. And with that being said, we are getting to the end of this video. Overall, I'm pretty happy where things are going, especially with how my portfolio is starting to expand in value and annual dividend income. The latest buy with Nvidia is also something that I'm really happy with. I wanted to own this stock for so long, but it never felt like the right moment. And now, finally, the moment was there. If you want to know more about each of these individual stocks, make sure to check out my individual stock analysis playlist with hundreds of videos about different stocks. And what are your thoughts on this dividend portfolio? Are there things you would do differently? Let me know in the comments down below. And remember to always do your own research and never fully trust on what I or other YouTubers say about a stock. I'm not a financial advisor and this content is just for entertaining purposes only. I hope you liked this video and I did bring some insights of the company to you. I would really appreciate a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to get notified when I'm posting a new video. Thanks for watching and I will see you in my next video.